experience of an actual ceremony can be often trivialized by many, just speaking about rituals or chanting, but not really having the true meaning behind such. Magic is as old as any religion and is the basis and foundation for any faith or religion. Luciferianism, in many ways, is an anti-religion in that it takes it to the individual, and through the individual's unique way of looking at things, experiencing, processing information, and gaining wisdom from experience, builds power. And thus a spiritual faith is born and grown from that unique interaction. When someone enters the circle of magic, one is throwing themselves into their own private mythology. And the imagination is what fuels us to do all that we do in life or to create what we will create in the future. It also is a key through our past into the spiritual plane. Now many will say, how can you validate spiritual plane, astral plane, magic? How does it really work? Well, I'll tell you that this video that you're watching now is different from other videos that I put out, because I always try to give you a symbolic and very basic approach of magic, and inarguably an atheistic approach. However, when I enter the circle through invocation, as you'll see in this, there is no difference between that deific mask and myself. I don't become that deific mask. I call it within, and then I absorb it. I visually, in my mind and imagination and the third eye, absorb and devour that energy, that it becomes a part of me. So then my brain is opened to areas of gaining experience and knowledge from that particular deific mask. I do this in honor of the gods, even though it could be considered a type of vampirism, because I always offer libations, and offering libations and incense to the gods is about offering good thoughts and visions towards what you want to achieve with that god. Just as Sulatu Du Salati Rahisma, or the dominant one who has 7 heads, one of the circle Leviathan rituals in Dragon with 2 Flames. Encircling energy involves illuminating and hitting the chakra points on your body and flowing in that type of energy. In ritual, there are several types of energy that people focus on. One is astral. Astral is from a word meaning stars, relating to floating the spirit, the consciousness going forth in the astral dreaming plane. And then there's spiritual energy, which is directly built off of the daemon, or the true will and the interconnection with the astral plane, the spiritual plane, and the physical body. Those primary 2 types are the ones that you'll focus on. This type of energy is built through thoughts, through diet, and through activity. So as you invoke, visualize and feel that energy flow through you with what you're calling forth. The following video utilizes a special thing that I did, which anyone can do, is you record your voice reciting an incantation towards a working that you're going to do for a period of time. And then you take effects and put that over effects in some kind of editing software, which is readily available everywhere, and create your own sounds and your own mythological ritual chamber music. The reason that I put on the effects is not because I don't want you to understand what I'm saying. I'm actually reciting Resheph Incantation from Dragon with 2 Flames. It's a matter of creating a type of sound which can lure, really inspire the mind to reach those heights. So enjoy the following.
let my bursting scratching about experience, that I shall struggle through my will. Let me remember this is my most painful moment. May I rise which is accountable my destiny. Hail now, come, God of black side.
Performing and understanding ritual and the tools and implements of magic are very important in your foundation early stages of practice. For instance, one who enters the path of magic, and I'm going to say Luciferian definitely, you're first going to want to take time to study all the implements of the circle and why and what symbolism and what the meaning is behind everything that you're going to work with before you can announce and compel change via magic, the will. You have to know all of those things and where they fall into place. Now there might be something you learn about with the circle or a small vial of water that's used in some Satanic Egyptian rites. Why would that water be there? You might just say, okay, it's water for empowering elements. You don't even know, but your subconscious more than likely does know. So the water would have a representation already within your mind. And what is that? The water element of the unconscious, the subconscious, instinctual drive, Leviathan, the great primal power. You already get that meaning. So it's important to study those things in the depth that you are able to do. Forthcoming book, Satanic Cult of Mask, based on Charles Pace's Necrominion, is a very detailed ceremonial grimoire that I've worked with for some years now. And it requires an intense old school approach towards understanding the implements of ritual. The good thing about Necrominion is it has no Christian elements at all. And it's really a pure source of modern Satanic Luciferian magic. So the next part in the ritual recitation, it is really about visualizing what you're invoking, what you're summoning. And as I was doing the rite, and I continued, and there's other segments that I may or may not have included in the final product, is the sense of euphoria and inspired imagination from the rite, which fuels what I do every day, which ultimately becomes the books that you guys are kind enough to read and unleash upon the world. So anyway, let's get to the ritual video and part 2 of the ritual, invoking a Resheph. Thank you.
I invoke the Resheph, great God, I rise, immortal Resheph, God, hear me now. Behold, I ask, raise time to strike down. Bring desert, wait. Hail thou, Resheph, who shield defends with thy spear, stab the flesh, those us. burning flame god, take thy arrows from thy strike. Resheph, great Lord of the sky, ruler for eternity, all thy power bestowed on me from Hail Resheph, hail Resheph.
Since the early 1990s, I have practiced what I call left-hand path or satanic magic, and by first adopting and finding the harmony of the satanic mind frame within myself, the mindset, if you will, the outlook. The ideology of Luciferianism is indeed an elaborate kind of succession, if you will, of the works of my forebears, which Aleister Crowley, Anton Szandor LaVey, Charles Pace, Kenneth Grant, some of the influence of Peter Carroll, who wrote the introduction to my book, The Witch Moon. All of these have fueled the individualistic aspect of my approach of magic. What I found from those authors when I was a kid was that they promoted individuality, that everybody is different and they're unique and probably strange in their own way, and that's good. Go with that. And so my initiation, I was in Order of Nine Angles, and in fact American Cell Leader, and my mentor, Christos Beast, was very big on individuality and very knowledgeable, and I utilized that to change my life, to get me on the path to my daemon. That's why I've incorporated some of these sinister paths in Luciferianism, because inherently it is Luciferian. I went my own way into Thelema and the Typhonian Thelema after the ONA, because I didn't like the political direction that some of the members had and adopted. It's not my thing. I lived a different reality and I saw things differently, living in different places throughout the country. A Satanist and a Luciferian essentially there's no real difference. Every Satanist or Luciferian should be uniquely individual, and both terms are interplayed. And that's kind of from the old school, like Charles Pace and the early Church of Satan, to where if you were different, if you were an individual, a Satanist wasn't a picture that flashes in your head of you looking like Anton LaVey or being a grand warlock master of whatever satanic coven. It's about being individual, about conquering and achieving what you want in life, both spiritually and materially, if that's your will. Luciferians are going a step beyond that and challenging, raising the bar, saying ideology, experience, will all build common experiences which bring us wisdom and power. Whether you're into vampirism or basic Luciferian ideology.